Hello, and welcome to our Design Challenge 1, the Lightest Cardboard Chair project. We first started with observation as our first step. So how do we best overcome the constraints and requirements for this design process? So our main constraints was the aesthetic character, wanting it to be a chair that people wanted to sit in and also looked somewhat fashionable. And then we also wanted it to have good function, so comfort for user, that the user felt supported while sitting in the chair. Sustainability, wanting to make sure we used recycled materials. And then durability, we wanted the chair to be able to support a 200 plus pound person. And trying to make sure that the chair was durable enough to be seated in multiple times, and then using as little cardboard as possible to make sure the chair was lightweight. Requirements: making sure it's 100% recyclable material, supported by 3 or 4 distinct legs. The seat must be 18 inches off the ground, and the back of the chair must also be 18 inches from the seat to support the lower back when the person who's sitting in the chair is leaning back. We then moved on to brainstorming. This part of our design process was done more individually from our members, each person coming up with their own set of ideas and drawings to start designing and start creating what would soon be our final design. As you can see in this slide, there are 3 different sheets of our members starting to use their creativity to think of ideas that would fit the requirements, but also to create a chair that they could be proud of and that would also overcome the constraints.
So what cardboard materials do you use to pack panels here at ECN?
We use boxes, corners, and cardboard blocks.
So how do you use these materials here to pack your panels?
Okay, we use the blocks to protect the top and the sides
Mm-hmm.
of the enclosure. We use the corners around, and we have these special blocks to protect the handles.
Oh, that's cool. So are there any tools or tricks that you use to mold cardboard to maintain the strength of it?
We just use a straight edge and a box cutter.
Okay, to keep the edges clean and straight?
Yes,
Cool.
correct.
After our interview, we went into rapid prototyping. We started with small scale models. As you can see here on this slide, there are a few of the small scale models that we came up with from the drawings, and using the information given to us, we came up with several different designs that we thought would make the most sense while also giving us the best results. And we also wanted to make sure that we could make small designs durable, because we didn't want to start building larger chairs and then have them, not work. So we wanted to make sure that, on our small scale models, they worked and they made sense to us. So then moving forward with the design process, we could trust that our larger scale models would have a better chance of being successful. We then moved on to our rapid prototyping for our large-scale models. Using the ideas from our drawings and our small-scale models, we came up with these 2 chairs to test out our designs on a larger scale. After getting together and looking at the 2 chair designs that we eventually came up with, we realized that they were not as durable as we had hoped for. When we sat on it multiple times, we could see the legs starting to kind of cave in. they just weren't holding up in the way that we wanted them to. And so we went back to the drawing board and kind of redesigned using new materials. So in these pictures, you can see that we found thick cardboard edging that we really liked and could obviously withstand a lot of weight. We also found block material that had a filling, a cardboard filling to it. And as you can see in the slide, Alex is standing on it with additional weight and it's not crushing under his weight. So we knew we wanted to use that as well. And using those two materials, we redesigned our final chair. So this is us refining our design. We met up together, brought the new materials, and came up with our final design, keeping in mind our failed attempts already and trying to improve on that. And we continued to innovate until we had a design that we were really proud of. Here is the staging process and also the final build of our final chair design. It's a lot more simple than the other ones that we used, and we also used the new materials that we found to make sure that it was durable enough to withstand the weight that we were trying to be able to seat without it caving in or breaking or anything like that. So this was the implementation of all of our designs and all of our already failed attempts to create our final product. And lastly, we wanted to make sure that this time around this would be durable enough. So we did have 3 separate people who were all 200 plus pounds, and if not, we added weight to test out the chair. They all had very similar feedback, the strengths being that it was upright and durable enough, and it was also comfortable and cushioned because we used the padded cardboard pieces in the seating area. Weaknesses, it was lacking lateral strength and additional leg support for lateral rigidity. So this was our final design. We made sure it fit all of the requirements given to us in the project. Aesthetics wise, it looks like a chair. It does lack a little bit of originality, but we do think that because it does look more simple, it looks more modern. The function, it does have really good back support, especially compared to that of earlier prototypes. Sustainability, it was 100% repurposed cardboard material that was going to be scrapped. So we were really happy that we were able to fit that requirement and make sure that it still fit all the other requirements because cardboard in our previous attempts was the reason why it was breaking and bending. We had the durability. It supported over 310 plus pounds. And then it did end up weighing 3.4 pounds, which was the lightest and strongest design out of all of our chair designs that we came up with.